Happy early Friday, 4:30 this time for me to go on live, which I normally wouldn't do. But hey, we're going to enjoy it. And as I always like to do, I'm going to give some people some time to get on. I know you may be watching this live, and I know you may be watching this after we've done this. And that's okay, because guess what I'm doing? I'm preparing. That's what I do. It's just a staple. It's something that I do. I do want to give props that I love this little sign here, and I took it from California's Senior Bat Reviews and Dave Velasquez, and I give credit where credit's due. I don't hide it. If I use something that's here, I'm sharing it. And in no way am I implying, as I will go down later, in regards to the things that are on our bats. Basically, what I am saying right here is that I will not take credit for this. If it was something I used a long time ago, then I would have showed you. But I never have. But I've always liked it. And you know me, I've always put that up there as in humor to pay homage and just great review, because I totally dig Dave Velasquez, and I hope you guys don't think that. And I'm going to get into some stuff later. And I've been meaning to come on for quite a while. I just haven't had time to get on because of life and everything else. I'm coming on early because I'm going to go I have to go pick someone up in San Francisco at the Tiffany at the airport. And that's why I'm here. But I've been meaning to go on. And I'm going to get into all kinds of stuff. I have tons of stuff that I've been hoping to get on. But one thing I do want to say is, if you're able, go to my channel. And I've just uploaded a lot of stuff I figured out. And the one to help guide me there, believe it or not, was Dave Velasquez. We were talking and he was telling me, hey, there's a way to do this. I want to show you how to do it and stuff. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. Dave's always been in my corner. Dave's always been a great guy. And as I said, I'm going to go on a little later and share things, how things can get misconstrued. All of the minions out there, how you guys can just stir the pot, give someone something and maybe not run with it. But something I want to show is something that I just put up today. And if you were playing senior softball, and if you remember when we had nationals out in Utah, that's when I was kind of running the streams big time during the COVID. So that was just a couple years ago. So I'll give you little hints here. Check it out. And it has different people. And some of the people you have on here, how I communicate and I talk. Sometimes I feel people are upset with me or something. Talk to me. Communicate with me. Just like Dave said in your video last night. Call me, man. Well, it goes both ways, brother. If you think things are, to anybody, if you're getting information, you got to always be able to go to the source. Don't jump to conclusions. Unfortunately, in softball and everything, people get rattled and they believe everything to be true. To be mindful, to be open-minded, take it for what it's worth, but go to the source, okay? And know who people are and know how true and real people are. So check this out, because I think it's kind of fun here. All right? So there's one of my other favorite guys. And sometimes we bang heads.
Well, no, yeah, you did. Okay, we'll get this gentleman. Here you go. What's the name? You might be on my show, sir. All right, what's the name? Mark Madang. I'm sure you've seen many and many softball tournaments. So what I want you to do is describe one guy that meets this to you. I'm asking random people. You either have the funny guy who plays in the softball teams on the floor, anywhere, just cracking jokes, never serious. You have the accessories guy, which looking at you, you could almost fit that, but you brought, or maybe your number one customer in a very positive manner. Then you have the guy who argues every call, or the strikeout guy. Or if you have those buddies that think they can pitch in the game, but we call them the can't throw strikes guy. Never called time guy, who always trying to steal bases when after time is called. And then we have the new bat guy, who has to have every new bat on the market in his bat bag. So who is one gentleman that might fit this that you could share?
The new bat guy, Marvin Jimenez.
Marvin Jimenez, where is Marvin from? I think I heard from that.
Northern California.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
And why would you say he's the new bad guy?
Because he probably bought 30 bats from me this year.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's good for you, man.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
All right, Marvin, well.
He's a good guy.
That's a good thing. Well, Marvin, you got a little shout out. Well, thank you, sir. We're going randomly. All right. Hey, guys. I do a softball show. Would you guys want to answer a random question? It's up to you. It's super simple. I'm doing randomly. You're on. We're live right now. I'm just asking random people. If you can, have fun with this, I'm going to give you a list of gentlemen, and you tell me who fits the mold. You pick one. There's the funny guy. So during the tournament, whether it's intense, he's cracking jokes, keeping it loose. You have the accessories guy, who has every piece of thing a softball player would need, from talcum powder. I guess this weekend with masks.
Yep, we're gonna get going right here in a couple seconds.
The go-to guy. I need tape. I need Advil.
And if anything, I also want to share.
Every call. We have the strikeout guy. We have the strikeout guy. Can't throw strikes guy, which is your buddy who wants to pitch BP or wants to pitch in the game.
I also like supporting many different people, and this guy's been a good guy, and he's the one who turned me on to CBD. It's also on this channel. You know him. Great guy. Guy's almost pushing 90. Great shape, up and about, moving around. CBD man right there. CBD guy. So thanks for coming on tonight. And I wonder why you are on tonight. I wonder why. So before I move over, and as I share, tons of good stuff that I want to talk about. I mean, just different things. And today's show isn't about bashing or anything. It just shows how easily things can get misconstrued, misunderstandings, people trying to stir the pot or what have you. But before I move on, something I do want to share is please subscribe and like. Go to my channel. And here is my channel right here. And when you look through my channel, you're going to notice tons of different stuff that I added there. That's a great one. Doing some things there. There's a classic glass game that I did at the SOG. Or no, was that Vegas? Yeah, Vegas. But there's a lot of great content. And as I shared, if you haven't seen the Alex Aragon interview, you got to see the Alex Aragon interview. But a lot of different channels. DJ Hollingsworth, great one. I got a bunch more that I'm trying to get put on. And the guy who guided me to do that was David Velasquez. Okay. There's that today. So go to my channel, subscribe and like. I got 377 right there. And, that'd be cool. So, as I said, it's Friday. I'm going on a little earlier. I rented out the warehouse. Look at this stuff. I got all this technology, which kind of seems to be kind of cool. Man, where to start? I have so much stuff. Well, first off, I do want to share, for about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, I've been saying, I'm going to go live. But it's been hard for me to go live. You know what I mean? So, it kind of worked out like that. I just been kind of lagging, been busy doing things, hanging out with people, kind of moving forward with my life in a lot of ways. Some of you may know, and if you know, and some may not know, you know what I mean? But yeah, the reason I'm going early is, as I shared, I'm going to be going to San Francisco later, and I'm going to go be picking up Tiffany out there in San Francisco, and her son and her son's best friends, because I'm just a nice guy like that, right? But yeah, just with work, I'm commuting now, so it's kind of, I took on a really good position. I'm commuting, and, after work takes me an hour and a half. And I always like to be prepared. I plan, I research, I do things when I say things on my shows, whether it's on a podcast or going live or whatever. I tell you what I know, not what I think or what I make up. It's primarily basically what I know for a fact by either trying it, testing it, looking it up, researching it, or even just being there. I mean, how often are people trying to get the hate brigade going by saying this and saying that, and people just jump on it just because of who it is, opposed to saying, well, you know what, let me check this out for myself. And that's a big thing. And as an educator, some of you may remember this and maybe not, but for a while they were implementing Common Core. And Common Core was, difference of opinions are okay to have. It's going to exist, that tension, but that doesn't make us not friends. Okay? Have conversations. I like to think I'm a professional. I don't trash people. And that's another thing that I'm going to go down in a little bit about trashing, things that I've done since I've been on the podcast. I've supported many different people, came on here and talked about their bats, their shoes, gloves, hats, whatever. There's many people out there I support because I want to see people do good. There's so much, if you want to say money, notoriety, recognition in this world, that there's enough for everybody. So why do we have to suck it up? Or why do we get, and envy's a bad thing. I used to say that. Another thing I say a lot, one-liners, was choose your heroes wisely. I come up with a lot of one-liners. Heck, in my hometown of Hollister, there's so many different nicknames and names that I threw out there. And here's a funny one with my buddy Eli. Always jokes around, and it's kind of hard to say here, but it's blank breath. And I tell him, when you heard someone say that to me, it's because I call people that, or I'll call miados, or I'll say, puñeca, whatever. We're always joking around saying different things in that nature. But that's it. Next, what I want to go on is tomorrow, Twin Creeks. We're going to be getting big at the Creeks. And NCS, JZ, Matt McGee. I mean, these guys got a lot of momentum going this year. And you're talking about 2025. I think it's going to be. They're actually a lot bigger now than USSSA in Northern California. He's doing a great job. He's trying his best to rank players accordingly, reclassing players not on a personal bias, a personal opinion, or whatever, because he has a committee, he has a group, different people from umpires to other tournament directors. I mean, he does it right. Does anybody have it perfect? No, but JZs and the NCS, Matt McGee out in Texas, they're doing it right. They're putting in the work. They're not doing this. And they're not trying to make $1 million off you. Obviously, NCS, All World, for years, they have had the best price packages. And that's why people just go and go. You look at the 3 worlds last year. You look at the senior worlds for U-Trip, NCS, WSL, and senior softball. Obviously, senior softball, biggest one. But next in line was NCS. And it's getting so big, I think he's going to be going 2 days now because it's just getting huger. And the constructiveness, the comments that some people said was like, we would go, but a lot of times those 40 majors or whatever, they run until Monday. And to play that tournament, you got to take Friday off and Monday off. And depending what time you get in Monday, it's possibly 3 days. So I know Jay has heard that, and I'm sure NCS has heard that, and maybe they're going to make adjustments there. And that's the right thing to do. And it doesn't matter. You listen to the message and never listen to the receiver. Listen to the message. But tomorrow I'll be out there playing 40s at the Creeks. Looking forward. We play at 12 o'clock. And we're playing the Slug Some Quackers, which I have no idea who they are. HMR, we're playing Throwdown. So we have 4 teams. Another thing you'll be having, they're going to have the 50 major. And look at the teams. I got to get out of this. All right. But, you have the 50 major, women's rec, and all that good stuff. And if you've never been here, go to NCS. I always type in NCS softball. And from there, you find the tournaments. I love, they put the schedule and etc. But great job, NCS crew, JZ's, Big Daddy, Little Daddy, and all them boys doing that. Okay. And wait a second. I am going to get to, I could have put that up there. The next one thing I do want to talk about, man, what's going on with USSSA in the conference? I remember that opener out in Vegas. I played that a couple times. You would be maxed out with 36 teams, maybe more, and more than half would be conference. It was almost an invite. And you always had, 2, 3, 4 majors. Last 2 years, I think last year or this year, you're not seeing Rismondo coming out. There's no Dan Smith, but there's no real major teams coming out to Vegas anymore. And then you look at the conference duel, the Hall of Fame Classic in Florida. And I'll show you right now the list. I mean, yeah, you had the major teams, but this was humongous. But look at the amount of teams that they had in this. Okay? That's it. What's the total there? That's not too many. And how many conference teams do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 11 conference teams, where in the past, that tournament drew a lot more. So what's going on with USSSA? What's going on with the conference? Obviously the prices have gone up. I don't know if the umpires get more. Prices are going up. Now they're trying to rake you for an extra $25 for a TD to do his job. And I guess that was negative, right? But I mean, when a business goes $25 on a player thing and don't give you a really, to me, a really sound, clear cut reason why they're doing it, you know, some people were just sheep. Okay, here we go. Every business, there's a lot of people that, yeah. We don't think about it. And then you have the intellect, the smart consumer that just doesn't throw out his money. There's a reason why a lot of rich people stay rich, because they're pretty smart and they're frugal in a sense because they know how to use their money. You know, conference is a good thing. I've actually had a call from another TD who's trying to think about how to put a senior conference together. Maybe I should copyright this, but hey, the DOB, date of broadcast. What is the date of broadcast? The date of broadcast is 4/18/25. DOB, okay? So you want to get a small idea of what I think would be great for a senior conference. First off, the conference, you have a major World Series that people are going for. Plus, you know, you get room and lodging, I believe. Or no, flights and rooms. All right, whatever. I mean, you're paying what, six? I don't know. I remember last I heard it was $5,500. I don't know if it's 6,000 or 65. But to put that out, which if you win that price packet, I don't even know. But I think for seniors, I don't even know if I should give this or wait till my buddy, but I'm going to give you an idea. You got to make it meaningful for the conference. Secondly, I think you can do like UAAA conference and have major, AA, all competing in the same tournament. Ain't going to happen. I mean, you have so many Chionas right now that not everybody wants to play a major plus. Like a AAA does not want to play a major plus, but you'll have a C play a major, right? But to me, I'm going to tell you, and I was talking to my good buddy with WSL, Paul Sandler, about this. And not necessarily for a conference, but let me tell you. If you want to make some kind of special senior conference, to me, you got to have one division. And you can call it the elite, you can call it the major, but this is where you got to change it up a little bit. If you are playing major plus, you can have unlimited, you can pick up anybody, no issues. You want to make a major, if you want to make a senior conference, you make one division and you allow 5 major plus, well, let's allow 6 major plus chips. And teams go into your conference, maybe have a conference event every 6 weeks. And then you got to figure, I mean, that's what the thing is. You can have somebody make a side team because not everyone's in the conference. You make a side team. You host, the way they were telling me, maybe you have Arizona, SoCal, NorCal, maybe Oregon, Texas, whatever. But you kind of spread it out, one tournament to qualify and maybe figure out another way how to get there. But to do the major conference, I think you got to have one division so teams could build their teams on a true matrix, because I don't think UAAA really got it because, a lot of times when I see these new guys coming out of, I haven't played in 6 years, but you're in the same shape you were when you stopped playing B. And then you hear directors, they're new to senior. I want to give them a chance and expose it. It's softball. It's the same thing. The only difference from seniors to men's, 12-foot arc, pitching mat, and bats. And unlimited base runners. For the most part, it's the same game. So to have someone try it out, to expose it, to see they like it, that's a bunch of But a lot of the sheep kind of go, yeah, I guess that works. Yeah. So moving on. I don't know if I want to talk about this. I talk about your team, making your team and stuff. And is league important? I see so many. I mean, in my town, league's a big deal, man. And league is a place you get good work. And some people don't go about league in a great fashion. But I will tell you briefly, and I think this is one I'll talk about. I'm going to actually highlight it here. The thing with league, when I played at Twin Creeks or wherever, when it comes to league, your top players, your elite players, your professional type players, they don't take league serious, but they go out there and they get good swings and they play the game right. They're still working on their game, but they're not working on their game because in league, it's a good workout. And some people take it like big league and then, I'm just here to get my swings. But in league, because your mind is a habit of mind, is a mindset. And if you're swinging at bad pitches, not hustling and stuff, when you play a tournament, don't think there's a switch that you're going to click it over, right? So league is a great tool to improve yourself for tournaments, gain confidence. But it's also a bad tool negatively if you're playing to lose, playing to not hustle. That's how people get hurt. Most time I hear when people get hurt, they weren't hustling, then they, they're just farting around. They're not playing the game. And to me, when I see people like that, they're big leaguing people they're playing. Because there's been many times I play league and guys are doing this and they're joking around. And those are usually the sandbaggers. When you're playing lower, these better players that don't belong there, they're usually joking with the other team. Oh, I'm going to buzz that pitcher. You went after whatever, poo-poo heads. Good. Oh, man. Asking. Yeah. But another thing is, sometimes all it is today, sometimes I don't want you guys, minions and people out there to think we're fighting. Some of you may think we're fighting, but to me, we are communicating. We're always communicating. That's all you can do is communicate. So much content here, man. Just so much. So going back to my channel, I like to think, coming into a bat company with so many bats and stuff, you got to come up with new ideas. You got to come up with some fresh things, and see how it goes. So since I've taken wings, being honestly transparency. First phone call I got to talk about maybe doing some bags, I got a call, and this is when Johnny Dice was with Suncoast. Okay, but then he obviously moved on and it didn't work out. And then, I used to really want to work with Carlos and Onyx. And we had great chats and great conversations, but never worked out. And then I was talking to Charles of Proton, and I remember having him on here, and he says, hey, man, I want to be the first guy to get the Dudley out of your hand. And he was. I played a whole tournament with the Proton bat, and I was all world in that tournament. And then, obviously my heart was always with Dudley. So I get a phone call with some of the Dudley reps. I spoke to two guys that are really deep with Dudley, and they were going to have me come on. I was waiting for my packages and stuff. And this is when things were getting stuck in China and et cetera. And they weren't able to get things to us. Never got it. But then Joe Proc reached out to me, and, rest is history is where we stand. But I try to really, hard to represent the brand, try to be a professional. And I'll go in a little later, but, when people... you know how that is, man. When people, just like Dave Velasquez says, when someone makes a comment about Short Porch, I have to, I'm going to respond in it. Rightfully so. I'm not opposed to that. I don't think that's wrong at all. I did the same thing. I recently had done the same thing recently. Somebody who's connected to Spartan Bat because he put Spartan totes, and I don't do this. Straight flat out says CBC bats suck. Okay. So obviously I made a comment and stuff, and he's cussing me out and stuff. And then I shared, if you're representing a bat company, that's not that good a way to represent a bat company, talking like that, cussing and etc. And obviously, the chat goes more, and I just call things out, and I'm just a lot more honest with stuff. Another great interview that I got on here is Bob O'Brien. If you haven't seen the Bob O'Brien video, that is a great one that I would highly recommend. I'm looking for a page right now because first, and I guess timestamps is now is a way to show people what we got and what we're doing. And I know it's around here somewhere. It shouldn't be taking so long, but it is. Does it go that far back? I don't know how many of you have seen it, but I actually get a game bat. We test it. And then after I'm done hitting with this, showing you the performance I'm getting, I saw it up in half. And obviously nobody's done that. Wait, California Bat Company batting practice games. If I just want to show you. Why can I not find it? Someone zap me out here? No. Frustrating. How many of you seen that? I might just have to move on. Just might have to move on here. Wait, hold on. I think I got it right here, right here. There's also Sean Bigley's chat on here, which is really good. Okay, so that, I know it was before that one. How you doing? I should probably have some move in the background, huh? God bless. Oh, there it is. Wait. That's a bad review. Bad reviews in your bad BP game. Well, actually, you know what I'm looking? I can just show you. Oh, you can actually see it right there. See it all? These are a lot of the feeds and the streams that I got going up there. If you look at them, there's a lot of great ones up here. Okay, this is today. Pitch High Debate. CBD chat for interviews. Peanuts chat. Smash It Against the Sinai. Classic. DJ Hollingworth, California Bat Chat, Joe Proc, which I just did recently. We're talking about Kevlar, which I'm going to get into a little bit, which I know all you Chihuahua monsters just want to hear that. Danielle Smith, and here's one of my favorite reviews here. Talking everything. This is when I had a long conversation with Dave Velasquez, who, you know, I've always wished the best. Obviously, our chats went down when he got fully on with the short porch, and I don't look at him as a competitor at all. As I've said in many times, there's enough pieces of the pie that we can all, oh, here we go. So I'll show you right here. Nobody does this.
YouTubers, that's right.
Oh, wait. No, this isn't
man,
it. Sorry.
What's the date today? March.
That's not it. Sorry.
March 16th. So, YouTuber, just so you know, thank you for the support. Thank you for the
There's a lot of good content, so you got to go subscribe. God bless it.
YouTubers, that's right.
I'm saving the, you know, the headlining topics. You know what I mean? Right. Back coming game, sound game. Batting practice games. The Chronic, swinging with Jeff Hall. Man, where was it that we saw that sucker up? Those are really old. Well, we're just going to have to wait another day. So, let's just get to the ball bones of it all, okay? You know, on my podcast earlier today, yesterday, I was talking about God and how God works in strange ways or whatever. Maybe there was tension building and I didn't know about it. And for me, I just happened to be commuting, driving home. And then what do I see? I'm just kind of flipping. I was in traffic and, I have a Bluetooth in my stereo. And I see, Dave was going on. And I've always liked hearing Dave. Dave has a lot to say. Smart, intelligent guy. Very intuition, goes right into it, right? So I started listening to it. And he started saying, bad companies and this and that, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just like, wow, what's going on? Let's hear this. And the last thing I thought he was going to call out California Bats, call out Joe Proc, call me out, and how we talked about Kevlar bats, okay? And he shares, like, guys talking trash. Okay, I'm sorry. As I showed earlier, and I'll show now, if we're talking trash, I apologize. But in all honesty, I didn't really feel like I was talking trash. Okay?
And primarily, what's it for? Like, grab things just to ball stick better in the barrel? Spin tag. So what's spin tag? Is that the tacky? You all the tacky stuff on there?
I want you to hear what Joe Proc says right now.
Okay, just to stick ball stick better in the barrel? Yeah. Cool. But as you just saw a little while ago on my feed, I was shooting Biden. It's a warm equipment. That's something that we started in California.
This feed, if you watch it, there's a lot of stuff.
And I want our pictures to have that on.
Trying to find where Joe. Well, if you're watching this feed right here.
I think probably the best ball would be to use is what's called
on this feed right here, Joe, Joe says something because we were talking, and I'm gonna show you guys. I love being transparent with you guys, but no way here. I mean, Joe doesn't even say anything negative. The Slovakian, he says, "Hey man, this is what we learned, what we know about Kevlar, and it didn't work for us." And I even said, "Hey, it didn't work for us. We're moving forward." And Joe says, "Well, maybe I guess Short Porch found the answer to Kevlar." I didn't. Nothing negative, nothing bad in regards to Kevlar. Me either. I said, hey, we're done with Kevlar. We're moving on. So in regards to that, for me and in regards to that, I get messages too. I may not have the same platform as you, Dave, but I get messages, people asking me. People knew we were trusting Kevlar way back when. Whether you were following me then or not, I have no idea. But we were trying Kevlar, and we had no success with Kevlar. They didn't last. They came out juicy, but they did not last, and that's not what we're about. We put them down. So people, now that your Kevlar bats are doing great, I'm not bashing them, okay? But I just, people say, what is your view on Kevlar? My view, as I shared on my stream, my view. And now once when I say, don't buy Porch bats, they suck, none of that stuff. I just said, as you saw on that feed, on that video, I just said, hey, they didn't last, they didn't work for us, we moved on. And then from there, I shared, a message that I had sent to Dave Velasquez, which, at the end, he never would return my stuff. So, being me, and on his feed yesterday, I said, it's there. I sent it, and here it is. This is exactly what I sent to him, but he never responded. And I was always talking about this. I wanted to talk about Kevlar bats and my experiences. Doesn't mean it's the right. That's what opinions are. Okay? Look. Okay, thanks for sharing. Happy birthday. I support you. We have tried Kevlar bats and didn't work for us. But the bat speed didn't mix with the barrel. This is something I'm going to discuss soon and credit and quote you from the stream. I intercepted. I don't know if that's negative. Chad Reezy sharing your info sharing, okay? So I'm giving all that info, saying like, hey, man, and he says it on his feeds where he says maybe Kevlar, or at least if I remember right, Kevlar's working well with slow bat speed. He loves it and he likes it, okay? Is that bad? No. Other things he does share on, actually, before I go there, I'm just going to share these because I like to be transparent. And, I think the shots that he took, I know Dave. Dave gets upset. Something gets under his skin. A lot of times when we get upset, we just rattle, and we don't stop to think. He mentioned I should have called out to him to find that out. Well, maybe, Dave, when all your minion guys are calling you saying how I'm trashing you, you should have called me because I wasn't trashing you. I never said anything about Short Porch or anything until that last feed because I heard Dave Velasquez say that it's working and it's good with people with slower bat speed. Am I right on that? So people reach out. I mean, I remember being at Manteca and someone says, I got a Kevlar bat and this and that. Oh, really? Yeah. I go, how's it working for you? Pretty good. I go, okay, cool. He goes, didn't you guys do it? I go, yeah. I go, but it didn't work for us. He goes, well, this one's lasting and stuff. Sounds great. Okay. When a guy is bashing other bat companies or trying to get ahead of them, like you kind of made that accusation yesterday, Dave, you should really kind of think about those comments because what I'm going to show you is the complete opposite, okay? So this right here, the whole conversation with me and Dave back in December, which is stamped there, came out in December, okay? And I did tell him I'm going to share with him. Let me see if this is the right one. Nope. Can't go to that one first. So I'm going to show you people asking me, messaging me about Kevlar bats, and I'll talk about it. I don't see anything wrong talking about it. Let me see here. I'm going to show you these. Okay, here you go. So you can look right here. Okay, here's one message I found. I have a bunch. I couldn't find it. Look. It says, I'm going to zoom it up. Oh, it's actually on the screen. I'll zoom it right here closer. Okay, it says, "You said you tested Kevlar and found it was not working well, correct?" I said yes. We had tested. Someone paid money to do. We had some prototypes made and they did not last for beams. I was going to talk about it at a show and show my Kevlar bat. I have a stream of me trying one. It's on my Facebook feed, whatever. And this guy who works for a bat company says, I have tested Kevlar and it didn't last and feel was off. Performance was iffy. Blank line ours performs it and feels way better too. And then I said, Joe had a guy pay, or not Joe, but Joe heard it from a guy had pay to test the fiber stuff, and he has all the data. And then, Dave, once again, jumped the gun. Could reach me. Dave raked you in the podcast about it too. Thought that was pretty nasty thing to do. And I go about how we tested it. And that right there, straight up, is what? Is a message. It's not me because you have me. I just blocked out the names because I think that's just the right thing to do. I'll show you another one. Okay. Oh, okay. Ooh, this one's a good one too. Okay. And I'm showing these because, like I said, All right, hold on here. Oh, okay, I remember that one came up. All right, here's another one. Another message. We're talking about Kevlar. Okay, so I reached out to someone because, and this is another bat person, manufacturer or whatever. And, we're getting talked about. We don't know what we're talking about. I mean, trust me, things that I say, I don't make it up, I'm a lot better at that. Well, Johnny, I understand what you're saying. I mean, I recall, from what I understand, you said Kevlar didn't work for you when you did it. But here's something else in regards to Kevlar. Okay? Actually, check it out. So I asked this guy, because this is somebody that told us some information. So I reached out. I said, I'm going to tell your name, but can you share this with me? And he says, sure. So this is what I asked him. I said, you can answer a question. You had a guy test Dudley for Kevlar. And I will not quote you. And he goes, I sent in an old Dudley, the old blue and yellow Dudleys. They did not have Kevlar. Maybe another bat did. I had some bats made with Kevlar early in our process. We sent those to be tested. They did not have Kevlar in them either. I said, okay, cool. Is it possible to share that info and hide identity? How did the Kevlar bats you had perform? And they didn't have any in it. We're sent to test. Kevlar bats, they broke quickly. We didn't use. But we absolutely tested these bats at a metallurgical engineering firm and blocked it out. And it cost them $6,500. Okay? So these are people we're talking about Kevlar. And, they reached out to me because why? Because before some of these bat companies, these messages that I got them before Dave was even with Short Porch. Okay? Dave was being independent. We tried Kevlar bats. Okay? So all this information, the way I tested them, the way I worked with them, didn't work. As I said on my video, I'm not saying nobody can master it, fulfill it. If you want to put your brain to go on it, go on it. But I said to people, we're done with Kevlar. Kevlar it's not working for us. Okay? All right. So next, what I want to show, yesterday, Dave probably ranting upset. You say you shouldn't trash other companies. It's unprofessional, blah, blah, blah. I remember the Worth 3DX. Yes, that was kind of I do remember it was like a brownish black, and then it was silver, and it kind of looked like, it was like the first two pieces, like composite. Did that have Kevlar? I don't know, Johnny. I mean, I'm sure you know. I mean, you're a pretty smart guy, and I don't think you just ramble and make things up. All right, so here, this is, okay, I'm going to start it off. Okay, when I reached out to Dave on the Kevlar bats, I'm going to show you that, okay? And originally that conversation, I told him, I had someone reach out to me And I can't remember why we're talking. And being, I have a crew and I know Dave. This guy reached out to me, goes, hey, can you use your notoriety and hit up Dave Velasquez? He's yet to talk to me. I can't find any of these black out Kevlar bats. So I go to Dave, hey, I know somebody that wants a Kevlar bat. Are you interested in getting him one or whatever? And this is the first time I ever got a response from Dave. Okay. And then he goes off on me. Are we talking about the Kevlar bat that's fragile, that cracks, the same what a lot of people are talking about that will never work? There's his picture. We are sold. There are waiting lists. Nobody's turning their blackouts back. I didn't even know they're going up on eBay. I only had 3. They are my gamers next year. And I said, there's a guy I talked to close to 70. He's the one that wants it. And they just go on. So, I mean, if I was hating on the guy, why would I try to lead him? I don't know if the guy reached out, but why would I try to lead him into selling some bats if he still had them? I don't watch all podcasts and I don't watch JBIs from beginning to end. I don't watch anybody, rarely. Occasionally I'll zoom in, I'll listen to it. If you follow those podcasts, then you're going to see my name pop up. And I'm guaranteeing most of you who are probably on those podcasts, you never saw my name pop up. Okay? Fellas, it is still coming. And that's right, Mike. I like you, Mike. I can't wait to see you someday. Maybe in Vegas this year or something. Love to sit down and have some more chats and do it live. So now I want to show another one. I guess coming from a guy who doesn't, I hate on other bat companies. I've said many times when I've gone live that, the bat company, there's many people, blah, 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 blah. There's enough for everybody. I've never said I'm trying to be the best. We want to be the best. We're going to kick down no. All I'm saying is we just want to be another option for senior softballers to have another option for a bat because maybe these other companies don't work, I was an Easton guy when, with the Synergy Plus and people used to always see me swing Easton. They say, why don't you swing another company? I like Easton. It works good for me. Many people used to tell me that, okay? But I stayed with Easton. I loved Easton. I was true to Easton. All right. So here's another one. All right. So check it out. So this one's date stamped in September. And probably, Rawlings to me right now with the umbrella bats they have, they're the biggest bat company out there, right? And I have good buddies that work for them. I have a senior bat company, right? If people are asking me like, you know where I can get an Easton? What the hell? Now, look at this one. All right. Let me see. This is a good one. This shows you how we are. Okay. All right. Here we go. I guess to put it bluntly. Okay. Ronnie Salcido, professional hitter. Love the guy. Okay. So check it out. I told him, hey, man, I got a couple buddies that bought your bats and they want more of them. See, Ronnie Salcido. You also get, I didn't say the payment. It says all 3, I got payment. Bats should be coming by Tuesday, just oversold by 1. Just check with my quantity. I say, cool. There were 4 guys, not 3. Check out the screenshots on payments. Cool. I sell bats. That's 4. 2 guys will have to wait for the other ones to come. Are they all 25s? And I said, yes, 25, 6.5, 26.5. Does that sound like a guy? And that, look at the date. Look at the date. Look at the date right here. September 29, 2024. Does that sound like a guy who's trying to trash? Especially when Rawlings with Easton, Worth, and Mikan are the front runners, with so many bats they have out there than Suncoast or whatever. But with a guy that's, would he do that? So here it is. Here's more. Ronnie Salcido. I have 3 more sold. One guy canceled order at, he did that because he ordered it. My buddy sent money to see if it worked. Got 190 from CrossFit. I'll get this out Monday. I only have 1 more left right now. And then you don't need to see the names, but there they are. I'm selling Easton bats. Sounds like a hater to you? Yeah, so those of you passing judgment on me, thinking that I'm trying to sabotage, especially listening to last night's feed, that's why I'm coming on and I'm showing that because I'm not that kind of guy, okay? You got to really know me. And I think so many times I have to prove myself. And that's what I share on these feeds. I'm honest. I have a group of people that trust me. So when I'm talking, they're going to listen. So, you know, if you're selling Kevlar bats and they know we tried Kevlar, they're reaching out to me to ask my opinion because they trust my opinion because I'm straight. Like you say, Dave, I rub people wrong. Sometimes I get them wrong because I'm straight and I'm honest. But at least that way, there's no gray area. I'm just straight. I don't trash, I don't bash, but I'll tell you my experiences with those bats. Okay? Another one. Here's another one. How many people do this? Okay? We had you know, our sponsor, Keith, and Prestige, they played the other weekend, right? And JBI swinging the Anonymous now. He loves it. I guess Keith swang it. He likes it. He asked, hey, can you get a hold of some Anonymous bats for me? So the Slovakian slasher, Joe Proc. Oh, yeah, I think his name is Murray. I can't remember his name from Anonymous. Go verify the source. Go meet that guy. So he turned him on, and Keith, our sponsor, wanted to buy 8 anonymous bats. 8 anonymous bats. Did we say no? We don't know how to get them. We don't know anybody. No. Joe says, yeah, I'll get those for you. 8 anonymous bats he sold. I sold about 5 or 6 Easton bats. Okay. Plus, I was trying to get one of those. Does that sound like a bat company or a guy who's trying to trash another company or etc.? The pie is big enough that everybody can make. Yeah, we are a little one, a little bat company, and we're just getting our thing back going because we had some struggles, not in regards to the bats, but just with switching of ownership and everything to have one owner opposed to multiple. Okay, so that's what's been our delay. You know, or another one, the way our mind gets fixated, getting bombed. Your bats are banned. Like everybody, when you say banned, people are thinking like we are not meeting specs or something's illegal about them, so they ban them. No, we were banned because, like I said, part of the ownership and this and that, and et cetera, was paying for those stamps and who's paying for them, et cetera, and going on. How you doing, Keith? Good to see you, buddy. So it's just being transparent now after what was said about the company last night. I just verified right there on messages on Facebook. People are asking me about Kevlar bats and how they work for me. So it's the same way people are reaching out or talking about our bats being banned. We did feeds. People talked to me about Kevlar, reaching out to Kevlar, whether it was in person or not. I said, you know, let's do a feed. Joe, you got a little bit more information on me about it. I'll get you on. We'll talk about it. And that's why it was so delayed. Plus, I wanted to find that Kevlar bat that I had that broke to show it, to be more factual, more transparent. Okay? You guys can trust me. I'm not a basher. I don't talk trash. I don't say bad things. But can I get just like Dave going to like talk about it? But I come clear-minded and I really think about it. And if I have to come with information that I have to clear my name or what's going on being said, that's what I can do. How you doing, Dave? But yeah, thanks for coming on, Dave. A lot of respect. I want to see you do well. And I've always said that. Never said anything negative. And I'm glad you're here. Okay? Because there's other clarifications that I want to go on and we're yet to talk. So I'm going to clarify it here. And the main reason, why do you think I'm clarifying it here? Because you trashed us yesterday, dude. Trashed us. So this isn't about trashing you. This is just about clearing me, you know. Next thing I want to talk about. Being in California, and Dave, you talk about, we got guys hate us. They want to see us fall. So many times with me, people just wanted to see me fall, right? So when they see, I show you a video. Dave, you reviewed my bat and you showed DOB, date of birth. If you guys were talking about something like that years ago, that would have been a good time to plug it in, okay? But not everybody watched your show. I tuned a lot of people to get you followers, promoting your show many times. Anyone who's been following my podcast, I've always talked about Dave, and I say, go support Dave, go meet Dave, subscribe Dave. I'd be stupid to bite one of the hands that helped feed me to get me to where I'm at. We've had conversations how to get me on YouTube, to do this and that, etc. Nothing but good things, good connections with one another, okay? So now, I met Dave. I got familiar with Dave during COVID, kind of following more at the bat reviews, then got to know him better, okay? But before then, I came up with the, date of birth, up in NorCal saying great equipment. Not everybody follows, but instantly the hate brigade, they see Dave Velasquez, they see the short porch bats. I put date of birth, they put born on date. Oh, you guys are copying this and that. What are you talking about? It isn't thrashing. So I came on and I even put it on my feeds talking about the date of birth just to verify a timestamp that I was talking about the date of birth for my bat before my bat was even released, before I even had a bat. I was doing it with the Onyx bats and all the bats that I was getting sent to test. So people knew when I took them out of the wrapper, that's when it came out and how long I had it, which I'm going to show you the video right now. And to me, it's not trashing. And it's actually having a lot of fun because, like I said,
Happy Friday!
okay, so what I'm going to do.
Have an evening with the Little Miss Kid. So as we wait for our wonderful
Hold on a
Friday
second
night
here.
right here,
14:30.
I'm gonna bust you a song. It's just that reggae kind of mood tonight. This is a band right here on YouTube. There
So check it out. I love it. Top tier players.
Legit. You ever want some top content and stuff? You gotta check it out. So I'm gonna play a little bit right here because why the hell not?
So I did this for Dave. It's like I respect Dave.
Top
Top tier. I love his humor. Senior softball bat reviews.
Softball.
To me, that's promoting, right?
I guess I can fast forward this, huh? Look at that. Imagine BP.
And I love that. That's how I started the show.
Yeah, I want to talk about something real fast here. I was on Facebook last night, and Leroy Dozel, actually, he was talking about
Leroy Dozel.
what he had to
Dozel.
say. And there were some people commenting on there, and he was talking about me, and somebody commented, and I want to get into this subject. And
Yeah.
you know, it definitely doesn't bother me. I don't react to a lot of these comments out there, but the comment was, I respect Dave. Just wish we had top tier players doing his best to legit swing.
You don't do that to
Now,
Dave.
my question would be to him is, what do you call a legit swing? You know, everybody out there doesn't have a King Griffey swing, and you can tell by Ken Vandergaard's, you know, his swing makeover.
And if you want to go see more on that one, then you're going to have to go on that page. You know, but it has good content there.
Guys, you know, that are getting the senior softball, these guys that haven't been there yet, you know, are looking for that legit swing. So if I had
Okay, so there's that feed.
My guys don't have legit swings. All of my
And I think, like I said, for me, it's great. You know, some people are bad mouthing because Dave, when his testing, don't have big names and stuff. Who cares? You know what I mean? He's doing a great job. He's doing a great service. And all people want to do is bash, 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 right? Me, I support him. How many times did I quote him and stuff on my show? So why would I bash you now, brother? Okay? Got another one for you. The infamous date of birth that I've got so much trash on. Okay. Here you go. At 55 minutes. And like I said, you can find all of these. You can find all of these on YouTube. Lots of great ones. I have some of them. I have headings where they're timestamped right here.
It's Tuesday.
55
Coming
minutes.
on out. Gonna play some music and wait till y'all come on. The bats that came out in the year 2020.
Look.
Are great bats. How many of you had a bat that you got over 800 swings? You know, the bats that I swing were the older models, and I got those swings. But, you know, the last couple of years I was fortunate. You know, I swing Proton and, you know, I go Charles.
Are you talking, Dave, who are you talking to about a bat?
On a Proton. I swung the Onyx.
Talking about Proton,
and,
Onyxes?
The Onyx, I mean, the most ones I got on one of the nuts set.
So there's a conversation, but I do. All right. So there it is right here.
But here's another thing I do want to show. Maybe I'll clean this up. And look at the idea. This is things I show. When I started testing bats for Carlos with Onyx, as well as my Suncoast and my Protons, I started putting on the bats they sent me data births. Look at that. And look at this one.
2021. 2021. And when I put that time span on there and stuff, it isn't to mock Short Porch or anybody. It's just getting a little bit of transparency or clarity because people trash us. You guys are copying Short Porch. You're copying. What are you talking about? I was talking about that prior. And that's why I have those timestamps about that. Okay?
I had two great chats in Suncoast. I wanted to do a Dudley. I even had Larry and Dudley and Deep on.
You know?
Whatever. that's like I'm saying.
And I did those timestamps with a lot of things, many things, you know what I mean?
You're going to tell somebody, hey man, I'm not hurt this bad.
And as I said, that's why I shared my ideas, things I want to do years ago. And it's because, we sell more of our bats out of California than in Northern California. We have a handful of people that support the brand, like our bats, but not as many. There's a lot of haters. A lot of people don't buy our equipment. It is what it is. Joe, he has a great job. He flies out. He's not doing the bad company to get rich. I'm not doing it to get rich. I love being able to be part of a bad company, to put things together, to push them, but most importantly, to meet people. When I'm on the road and people see me here on my platforms and meeting so many people, and I'm so talkative and passionate about the game, I love talking bats. All the time, I get messages here and there about people talking about bats. Do you have this bat? How do you feel? Hey, man, you're not like a lot of other guys. You take the time to say a couple words or whatever. And I say, thank you very much. That's who I am. I'm at a field. I mean, heck, when you see that one video of me during Utah, I'm going up to random people talking and having fun. I think most people who see me or Joe out there, I don't think they look at us as a-holes. Maybe between the lines, I get too intense for you, but for the most part, we're pretty cool. And I've caught a lot of people talking a lot of trash from having a game stream and guys are talking about us. As I said, you're on a stream and someone puts CBC bats suck or whatever. Nobody's in it with us. Okay, Dave? So when I am sharing what I'm sharing, the primary reason is to let people know that I was talking about data bursts, good equipment years ago. It has nothing to bash on you. I didn't even say anything about Mike Dill. Recently, Mike Dill was doing something and he started yelling, good equipment, it's good equipment. I didn't go on there. I never said I came up with it. I ever did nothing. Who cares? Yeah, I use it. I said it a long time ago. I didn't copyright it, just like I didn't copyright date of birth, right? So for me, you being pissed, I got pissed. But I was more upset and disappointed in you because the talks we have and knowing the haters, we're one of the few guys who talk about shaved bats. As I shared, I cut my bat open. I do all of those things to give transparency, okay? And it's not about, kind of the things. But like I said, being around you and talking to you, I know you can get worked up and geared. We all can. I do too. But for the most part, there's just too much. I have way too much respect for you to trash you. You've been nothing but a big supporter of me and California bats. I admit we didn't talk a lot, but some of those, chats in the, in the past, I remember reaching out saying, what's up? I had no idea you were mad at me or whatever. And, because of this was happening. Because there are people on here that test bats, talk about swing bats, and sometimes people believe. I mean, heck, you were talking about that you had a guy, I think, selling Short Porch and Suncoast bats, acting to be like a bat rep or a representative, talking about your bats. So are you going to trash your boss or Lee Trotter because this guy's doing what he is? Because what you did is sort of trashing us because somebody else you felt was trashing you. Then you talk about reach out. Well, why didn't you reach out and ask me or Joe, hey, what's up? I would think we had enough respect and enough hours of talking on the phone or on the internet. You would have reached out to me. Practice what you're preaching, buddy. And this in no way is to be hostile. It's just saying, man, I'm not fighting. Let's communicate. As you say, I'm communicating here, not bashing you. Okay? Never bash. You said call. You should have called me and said, hey, man, why is this happening? Or who is this guy? Does this guy represent this bad company or whatever? That's, to me, you could have did it. Practice what you're preaching. Set the example as a pioneer in this whole YouTube senior bat thing. Set the standard of how it should be done like you did. So many people have followed reviewing bats like you. They don't got it down like you, Dave, but you started a flurry with things. I started a flurry with podcasts. Yours was just bats. I started doing softball chat, reviews, music, all that stuff. And then it just whirlwinded. More people are starting to do. More people are swinging bats out there. More guys who are sponsored by bad companies are going out there. Not too many people are taking the rappers out, but we're setting standards. We kind of, you're the first pioneer, and you're someone I look up to that got it started. And then I started doing other things, and we just started branching out. And with that came a lot of hatred, a lot of BS, whatever. So it's sticking together and being strong. It's so easy to get sucked in, or so many feeble-minded, easy-minded people think this, think that, here, this, that, and they start stirring it up, calling you, because I get the same thing. But I've always learned, there's always two sides of the story, and don't jump to any major conclusions in regards to whatever people are saying, man. That's just what we got to do. Please like my channel. Oh man, I'm really. Oh, there it is. So, in turn, one of the last things we've ever done.
How's it going? We're out here in my League Legend field with the California Bat crew. You can't
So in contract,
So I want to thank you for finding my YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed, it's been questioned.
So listen.
23.
Okay, this bat was questioned, saying it was shaved and everything.
Put this sucker to have its.
So that's why I'm here.
We're gonna test.
So we're testing my bat. No one's ever done this. What I'm gonna do right now, nobody's ever done it.
What are we testing out at right now? This one. What's that?
175.
175.
I'm gonna put this other guy there.
So that's a bat. People used to say he was shaved and stuff. All the hatred and stuff. Not that I'm a pure straight athlete who works on his game, right?
What is that testing at, Foxford?
So now check this out. We're the first. That's what I like.
So, stick around. The Proxer's going to get it ready, and we're going to... How should we do this? Should we hold it up?
So we're shaving it right now.
All right, so we're going to
cut it.
We're going to cut it.
Who does that?
My bad here.
The same bat that I was swinging right there. Cutting it.
Should I go lower? I want to cut it in half.
Okay.
So we're gonna go. We're gonna go towards where the sweet spot is, because if a bat's shaved, where it's cracking, it's here. If it's
Check it out. And this is the one right here. See the little Mexican at 45 saw in his game ready bat. Open. There you go. So, got to get ready, go San Francisco, got to go pick up Tiff. Thank you all for coming on. For me, I point out facts. I point out things. Do people have grudges against me? Yeah. Why? It's their own personal business. I can't even get freaking reclassed, and they hold them down, and the whole thing. But when I come out, I bring out factual stuff. I'm not just some crazy dude who's escalated, frontal lobe flush, just blaring out. I'm very calm. I'm very steady. And if you hear me talk, I articulate very well in regards to my arguments. And my arguments are based on facts, on things that I can produce. I've had emails with different people. I'm just a regular guy. But see, a lot of us, we have these type of platforms to educate many in the softball community, all in the softball community. Because if we don't, the real crooks and the real thieves are people out there wanting to make money. There's people making money. I mean, you just shared yesterday, there were guys trying to pass bats on their own. People are, putting posts up and not selling bats, which that's another thing I do want to share. Things real quick. If you're buying a bat from somebody, send them half the money, not all the money. You got to establish trust. So if you're having a trusting thing with this bat deal, I'm going to send you half. When I get the bat, I'm going to send you the second half. Secondly, don't rely on what pictures you see. Tell them, send a video, spin the bat, show the barrel. I do that when people have asked me to buy certain bats. I send them a video so they know the picture you saw, I actually own the bat. You got to be smart. You can't be gullible. You can't think that upper tier guy is your friend, because he's not. He looks at you as a dollar sign, okay? You got to look out in the softball community. When people are selling you things on the side here or there, they're always looking to make a buck or two or three. That's the nature of the beast, but you got to be smart consumer. You can't just say, ooh, ooh, ooh. Some people use their notoriety to come and try to sell you this, sell you that, whatever. I don't come across that way. I'm always very fair, beyond fair in many things. Okay, I love this game. I'm passionate about this game. I've played 3 tournaments since the year started. I'm geared to go and getting ready to play. And I'm looking forward tomorrow to play NCS. I'll be playing a lot of NCS this year, WSL, SSUSA. Currently, right now, it looks like it. I love to do it because I want to go play with a 50 major plus team out of Texas. Currently playing with a 40 major team. Unsure where this thing is going, but I'm looking to find myself a set 40 team that wants to play. And heck, there's a package deal. There's me and Sammy together to go play on your 40 team. Played last year. We both did very well. Looking to play 40s, 50s. And a little secret I'm going to tell you, I'm 55 eligible. I'm 54. Ooh, I said how old I am. But, Mark, I think it's all cool, man. Share or not, we've had our conversations, and sometimes people believe this, believe that. We get ruffled. I'm an approachable guy. I'm an easy talk to guy. Mark, I've had conversations. The beginning of my chat tonight had you on there from Utah. I'm approachable. I'm talkable. I'm not an a-hole. I always have something to say. I'll laugh. I'll give you a couple minutes of my time. Not to say I'm special, but I'm into people. I like people. I love the game. I love educating the game. And I've always done that all my life. Baseball, I've coached. All these wonderful sayings and stuff, But, that's kind of what I just wanted to say. And I hope to kind of come on regularly. As I always say, be kind to one another, Sometimes, we're going to get riled up. We're going to hear this. Don't jump to conclusion. You know what? Assume. Don't make it out of you or me. Go to the source. Talk to it. I've had somebody reach out to me and say, Leeward, what's going on here, man? I thought we were friends. Oh, this is what happened. This is how it came out or whatever. You know what I mean? A lot of people. What's up, Andre? Yeah. And it's weird because people judge me. They think they know me just by me talking here and stuff. Passionate about the game. I share a lot of things. I talk about a lot of things. I am straight open, but I don't think I'm disrespectful. I don't think I'm rude. I don't call out names, but if it affects you, then maybe you feel like you can talk to you. Because sometimes people say, "Are you talking about me?" And I go, "No," but I guess you think I was because what I was talking about had nothing to do with you. But sometimes people will show themselves being guilty or not so truthful by their tantrums, by their escalations. I don't escalate. But I do take growing up where I was very outspoken. I was very open-minded. I was always like, "What?" When we're playing ball, hanging out where I used to hang out growing up or whatever. I was always, me and my cousin Louie, we were always, but we're always factual. We never made up stories. We never did things. And I like to think that's who I am today. I think a lot of you who trust me, you can continue trusting me. I think a lot of you who come up to me, so many people have a perception of me of who I am, and that's not who I am. Sometimes people don't want to talk to me because they hear this, they hear that, rather than say, I don't know. You don't come across that way. I've heard that from different people. But that's who I am, and that's how I go. I appreciate you all. I hope nothing for the best. I hope you have a great Easter. Going to be out tomorrow in Twin Creeks, and I'm really looking forward to that. And it should be a good time out there. It'll be me and Sammy playing together on San Benito SB. So take care of yourself. Be good to each other. Message me. And Dave, I wish Short Porch and you the best. We learned a little bit today. That's how you grow. But know who I am. I'm true. I'm not what people think I am. And if you're a person I feel have some depth, worth anything, and mindful, take the time, man, because you and I, potential friends, will never know the friendship of being potential friends unless you do that kind of stuff. Feel free to go back. Please subscribe and like. Oh, good stuff. And like I said, want to play 40s. Got a 50 team, but I would rather prefer to stay in California. And I'm 54. I'm 55 eligible for senior softball. So take care.